Good morning. I'm Attorney Ben Crump, along with Attorney Chris O'Neill. We have the pleasure of working with a great law firm of Panish, Boyle, Shea, Boyle, and Robert Pooty in representing some very special people who you're going to hear from today. Also present with us is attorney Juan Pablo Orellana, as well as attorney Paul Trainer, as well as attorney Erica Contreras, and a whole team that are dedicated to making sure that we get justice for Valentina. Right. You have her aunt Esther Carr here. You also have her parents, who you're going to hear from. Mr. Juan Pablo, who flew in from Chile. And you're going to hear from her mother, Soledad, who was with her praying the moment she was hit with the bullet. Today, the parents wanted to come and tell the world who their daughter Valentina was. We will get to talk later about what things could have been done to prevent this innocent princess from being taken from this earth far too soon. They want you to know that Valentina was beautiful, intelligent, and had the whole world ahead of her. She made exceptional grades at an English-speaking school, even though English was not her native tongue. She had dreams. Her father wanted people to know about her dreams. She dreamed of being an engineer, working in technology, helping build robots to make the world a better place. She had dreams to go to a Los Angeles Lakers game with her father and see LeBron James. They talked about one day they were going to go to a Laker game. But her most important dream, as all of her family members have articulated, was to become an American citizen. And tragically, that would never happen. She was just talking to her mother today as they were going shopping, how proud she was that she had passed the math and the physics exam. And her principal even contacted the parents to talk about how special she was. And we'll share that with you, because never should this 14-year-old little girl ended up as collateral damage at a shopping plaza. They came to America from Chile to get away from violence and injustice, to have a better life in America. as her Aunt Esther says, they can't believe this happened in America. And so her mother and father are going to tell you from their heart as best they can who she was, that her life mattered. Erica is going to translate. They are going to speak in Spanish, and Erica will translate in English. And this is very emotional, and so please bear with them as they bear their heart at this holiday season. And right now, you're going to hear from an incredible lawyer, but an even better human being, who I'm proud to work with, representing this family, Attorney Ruha Rava Pudi.
Thank you, Ben. Just very briefly, Rahul Ravi Pudi, Spanish Shade Boyle, Ravi Pudi. We have the privilege and honor of representing the family, and today is not about what's going to happen next. Today is about what the family is going through, and hearing from Mom and Dad right now about that. As the days go on, you'll hear from Ben Crump, me, Paul Trena, Erica Contreras, and others on the legal team about all of the next steps. Thank you.
Mr. Juan P. is devastated by the loss of his daughter.
Sorry, it's very, very hard to hear.
When he was phoned by his wife and informed on the 23rd that his daughter was shot and killed while they were shopping at the shopping center, he was in shock. And to find out later that it was the bullet of a police officer is the devastating. He had made plans to come to the United States to be with his daughter for Christmas. He had purchased gifts for her Christmas, and now those gifts are now going to be brought to her grave because she's gone. His heart is just torn out. His daughter was very excited about the fact that she had done well in school, had gotten good grades, and they were going to celebrate that together. And now they're not going to be able to do that. Also, she had great dreams of being an American citizen. She wanted to be here in the United States because this was the land of opportunity. And she was excited about that. They were going to go see the Lakers. Dad's a big fan of the Lakers, and they had planned to go see the Lakers together. And that's never going to happen now. And he found out that Valentina had ordered has asked for a skateboard for Christmas, and the skateboard arrived through Amazon on the 24th, the day after her death. And now it's something that she will never use, and he will have to take it to the grave so she can skate with the angels. The only thing that he has left for him now is to seek justice for his daughter. He will not rest until justice for his daughter is served, and he promised her that. And all that's left for him, his only solace, is to bury his daughter now. While other families are home with their families together for Christmas and New Year's, he now has an empty seat and an empty home. Thank you.
And thank you, Attorney Contreras. Before Ms. Soledad comes and speaks, I just wanted to read a statement. It got very emotional for him, but he wanted to tell you all, my name is Juan Pablo. Valentina was my only biological child. I am still in complete shock and disbelief from when my wife Soledad, Valentina's mother, told me that she had been shot and killed by an officer from LAPD at the shopping plaza. It is like my whole heart has been ripped out of my body. The pain of opening the Christmas presents for her that have been delivered for Christmas Day cannot be articulated. My daughter was special. She had dreams. And tragically, those dreams have been overshadowed by this nightmare that prevents me from sleeping at night. I talked to my daughter the day before she was killed by the police. She told me she was on Christmas vacation and she was excited to tell me she passed her math and physics exam. We talked about our dream of going to a Los Angeles Lakers game together when I arrived in January. She was very excited for Christmas. She ordered a skateboard from Amazon all on her own and wanted to surprise me and the skateboarders at her school when she returned from Christmas break. But she would never get to show them the skateboard herself. We want justice for our daughter. Valentina's life mattered. We demand justice. If it was your baby girl, wouldn't you demand justice too? The words of Juan Pablo, the father of Valentina.
At only 14 years old, Valentina was our young daughter. She was full of joy and she had big dreams for her future. She had a lot of life to live. We were together at Burlington in North Hollywood. We were trying out clothes for Christmas. We heard some screams. We sat down and hugged and started praying. When something impacted my daughter Valentina, it threw us on the floor and she died in my arms and there was nothing I could do. To see a son or daughter die in your arms is one of the pains, the greatest pains and most profound pains that any human being can imagine. Valentina meant the world to us, to her family, to her friends, and to her schoolmates. And now our sweet angel has left forever. Please give us strength, Valentina, please give us strength, Valentina, to make justice for you.
And I will read some of the thoughts that her sister and her prepared. My name is Soledad. I am the mother of Valentina. My 14-year-old daughter and I got dropped off by her sister so we could get gifts for Christmas. On the way to the Burlington factory store, we discussed her dreams of becoming an engineer, becoming an American citizen, her making good grades, that she loved her school and she wanted to go to college. While in the dressing room, we heard commotion and screaming. Valentina and I hugged each other. She went and locked the door to try to protect us. We started hugging each other tighter as more loud noises and commotion was being heard. Eyes closed, we began praying for peace, praying for safety, praying for everybody. I was praying for my daughter, and I believe she was praying for my safety. All of a sudden, we felt an explosion that threw us both to the ground. That's when I saw white powder coming out of Valentina's body as she started having convulsions. I had no idea she had been shot. Her body went limp. I tried to wake up by shaking her, but she didn't wake up. As I laid screaming for help. The police did not come to help me or my daughter, but I kept screaming. When the police finally came, they took me out of the dressing room and left my daughter laying there. I wanted them to help her, but they just left her laying there alone. We want justice for our angel, our precious little angel, Valentina, from her mother and her aunt. Attorney Robert Pudi. Attorney Robbie Pudi and I will try to answer some of your questions if you have any. And if necessary, Erica will try to translate if there's a question for Mr. Juan Pablo or Ms. Soledad. Attorney Robbie Pudi, if you'll join. Questions, yes.
You said repeatedly that you're seeking justice. Can you describe, and the family describe, what is justice to them?
You know, right now, the question was, we talked about seeking justice for the family. What does justice look like for them? And I will go in there, and Attorney Robbie Pudi will add on if he has anything. The family is completely devastated. They are still trying to get past this nightmare. Her father is still in disbelief. He wants justice as any father would want. She wants justice as any mother would want. What would you want if your baby was killed in this manner? That's all they're asking for. As we said earlier, we're going to address how things could have been done differently to prevent her from being collateral damage. As some of the activists, Cynic and Sean and Tez, have all said, we should not have to sacrifice innocent life in the name of safety when it was foreseeable that 2 days before Christmas that there were going to be people in a shopping plaza shopping. The family thinks things could have been done differently to where Valentina wouldn't be collateral damage and that she would still be here celebrating Christmas, getting ready to take that skateboard back to her classmates at HTLA and able to go to the Los Angeles Lakers game with her father in January. That's, to them right now, is what they're dealing with. They're going to leave to our legal team to try to address the matters of justice, even though her father has some strong opinions about that. Attorney Robert Pudi.
Mr. Brown, can you tell us about the letter it was sent asking the LAPD to retain all video surveillance for a potential civil lawsuit against the LAPD? Would there be a civil lawsuit against the LAPD?
The question is, we sent a preservation of evidence letter to the LAPD so that we actually can have transparency on all of the evidence and all of the information so that the LAPD doesn't drive the narrative on what they did. We can expose that truth ourselves. And what we did was we sent that letter, we sent it immediately to make sure that all of that evidence is saved and it's going to be available to us through this process.
We believe that there's a video, surveillance video, from the Burlington store itself as well. And so we want all the documentation, complete transparency, not just a perspective that tries to justify things. We want everything released.
Do you believe there's more video than has already been released?
We do.
Mr. Crump and Mr. Wells, thank you for being here. This question is for the parents. This happened the day before Christmas Eve. Valentina was in there buying a Christmas dress. What does it mean to lose her during the holidays?
Ella estaba allí la noche antes de They just don't have any words.
I will share a note from their principal to the parents of Valentina. I am so sorry for you and your family's loss. Words cannot put into words how I feel right now, and I cannot imagine how it feels for you. I'm working to share this sad news with the staff and the HTLA community. I feel like it was just yesterday that I was working with Valentina on her physics final exam preparation. She was an amazing young woman who was brave and showed so much growth in such a short time here at HTLA. Please keep me and the HTLA family updated on any ceremonies for Valentina. We would like to attend if possible, and I would like to provide an opportunity to share with others just how precious and special Valentina was. As I'm reaching out to her teachers, many have asked if there's a GoFundMe account for your family. We want to contribute because Valentina was special to us, and we want to try to help ease your pain during this time. You and your family are in my thoughts, and more importantly, in my prayers. Please contact us if you need us for any reason. And that was from the principal of High Tech LA.
Mr. Crump, you mentioned that there were some steps.
Colleen Molina.
Mr. Crump, you mentioned that there were some steps that LAPD should have and could have taken to prevent this tragedy. Can you please explain what some of those steps should have been?
We will talk about those things later. Today was about letting the family tell the world who Valentina was, and that Valentina life matters. Valentina life matters.
Did LA...
Under state law right now, the Attorney General of California looks into such officer-involved shooting. Are you confident with state officials being able to take a look at this as well, that justice will be delivered in this case?
I think the family wants all accountability on every level. So if that means we have to have state intervention, if that means we have to have the Department of Justice on the federal level to intervene, we want to have full transparency and we want to have full accountability. Right now, they can never get Valentina back. So what they want part of her legacy to be is that no one will ever be killed like this, in this manner. An innocent bystander at a shopping mall 2 days before Christmas, and to have their life cut down because of police bullets. That's what they strive for. So if the Attorney General of the state, if the Attorney General of the United States, if the District Attorney of Los Angeles County, if any of those elected officials can help deliver justice for this family, then they welcome it.
Attorney.
Can you answer in Spanish, please? Can answer?
Attorney, may I ask one
Can
question?
she answer in Spanish what you just said, please?
Can you?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're gonna
May I ask one
we'll do
question?
something in Spanish as soon as this one is over.
Okay.
How long-
Two more questions.
Well, what was Valentina's favorite color?
Pink.
How long had she been in the U.S.? How long had she been living in the U.S.?
been here 6 months, more or less.
Now, there's people saying that they were trying dresses on the fitting room. Were they being protected in the fitting room, or was she actually trying a dress in the fitting room?
She was trying trying on dresses for Christmas.
Did the police say anything to her after the shooting, after it happened?
No, they didn't say anything to her.
Did you ask her approximately how much time went by before the police actually found her after the shooting?
They were just asking her to leave and get out of the fitting room.
Mr. Crump, did you ask her approximately how much time went by before they found Valentina?
We're gonna save some of those questions for later. Yeah, thank you.
And we'll let you know.
Remember her for?
We'll let you know as this investigation continues. One of the things that was extremely heartbreaking for Miss Soledad was to be pulled out the dressing room and leave her daughter lying there on the ground alone. You can only imagine how difficult that is for a mother.